The Mugen wing to match the Mugen kit. We're gonna be finishing it off. I ordered this a couple months ago when I was on vacation in Florida. It just finally came, I'd say maybe 2-3 weeks ago. We're gonna be replacing the stock wing, of course. I did get it paint matched. It comes unpainted, so had that done. Just finished it up a couple days ago, and today it was ready for pickup, all dried up. This is everything it comes with, obviously the wing itself, and then it comes with these things here. I assume there's some kind of weather strip, Mugen decals that go on this piece here, and then the packing strip. Okay, so the entire manual is in Japanese, so we're gonna figure this out. Alright, step one, just simply put the wing together. So let's go ahead and get this wing put together. This is the side here, of course this is the middle, and that being the other side. Okay, that is one side on. I do like how it is adjustable. I probably will never readjust it, but that is just a cool little feature it has. So far, here's what it looks like assembled. Now we got to do a few more things. Mugen wing out, set it over there. Now we're going to have to pop this panel off and get the old stock boy off. Alright, so the tools you're going to need to actually take this wing off up here is going to be obviously your 10mm sockets, a little Phillips head, doesn't matter the size, you know what they say, size doesn't matter. And then you're going to need some plastic pry tools just to take this piece off without damaging it. There's going to be 4 screws you take out. I already took out this one and this one here. Now you're going to have to pop this little cap off and pop that little cap off, and there's going to be one on each side hiding. If you haven't already, you also want to take off the little visor here and set this somewhere safe. Alright, now we're going to remove this whole panel. It's already coming loose here, but it's going to be from here to there. So, and again, you want to make sure you're using plastic trim tools. You do not want to hurt it. Just be careful, take your time. Just keep slowly making your way. Okay, that piece is off. Now we'll set this somewhere safe. Now what you should be left with is something that looks like this. So, bare. Now there's going to be a couple of bolts in here you have to take off that lead to the actual wing. Alright, to get the actual wing off itself, you're going to need a T30 star bit. You're going to take off these 3 here, as well as these 3 over here. Now that I've loosened all of them, we're just going to take the top of it and spin them all off. Now we just pop it right off. Boom. This thing's actually a lot heavier than I thought it was. Cursed type R. Now we take our socket, 10mm. We just take those 3 out there on that side, and then you have 3 more on this side, and that will pop off these risers. Now we'll pop these ones out. Okay, there's 1. There's number 2. And that is 3. We should be able to pop this down and just shimmy this bad boy out of there. Okay, that is 1. That is 2. That is 3. Now let's take this riser off on this side. Boom, that one actually came off a little bit easier. Let's take a look at the no wing type R. Wow. That looks funny. Alright, let's get the next wing on. So the next step is to get these weather strips on, so let's go ahead and open these up and get them on. And they are just adhesive. I would recommend wiping this little area down with alcohol just before you do put them on. Just like so. Give it a nice firm push, all ends. And that is this side done with the weather stripping. Now that we flipped it around, we're going to do the same thing to this side. Make sure you got your weather strip handy. Of course, you got to wipe it down with alcohol just like the other side, or else it might not stick. This one actually came off way easier. The other one I kind of had to fight for a good 2-3 minutes, but let's go ahead and get this one on here. Again, make sure you center it just like that. Make sure you firmly press this one down as well, and then we're ready to move on. Right now we go ahead and install the wing. Now we set the wing in place, and it is going to be a little bit tricky for me to actually get this up in the air because it's just me, so I don't know how I'm going to keep it in while I bolt it, but that is something I'm going to figure out in a minute. Alright, so I have a system here. I'm holding it with my right hand. That side isn't in, but we're going to take this and carefully get it in there. Alright, that's all 6 of them torqued down. Let's take a look at it. We still have to put the Mugen decals on, but man, I'm loving this a lot more than the stock wing. Now we put it all back together. Pop this back in, and I should just be able to click it all in. And then you put your 4 bolts back in. I'm just putting this one in to start, and then I'm going to finish slapping the rest of this in. So I marked off 1 inch on both sides, so right now I'm going to dry fit the decal, and we're going to see how it looks. I'm not exactly sure how high I'm going to have it, but it's going to be right there. And I may just line it up even with the top of this crease, but I'll have to see. Okay. That is the first one on. Obviously we're going to take off that clear little plastic bit, but let's hope we line up the other side just like it. Got the Mugen decal on this side as well done, and the final touch, I already peeled the one on the other side. Now we just peel this one slowly and carefully. Very satisfying peel. And when I am done, I always like to, this goes for any decals, I always like to flip this little piece inside out and then give it one more nice rub. I thought the lettering was black. It's like a dark gray. Not a big deal, but there it is. I believe they actually make it that gray color so you can still put the logo on with the black wing, but boom. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and take everything off of it and then get you guys one more final shot. For today though, hope you guys enjoyed the install. It didn't take me too long. I was watching a tutorial while I was doing it, so I had to stop here and there. And then the only thing I actually did make a mistake on is when I first started, I put these on the wrong sides, but obviously I figured that out a couple minutes in and swapped it out off camera. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed.